Superman's pal Jimmy Olsen issue 3 sees Joachim Olsen get ready to hang Matthias Alexander for his betrayal and almost killing him. Alexander says that his family will make it their mission to make Olsen's life and his family's life full of sorrow, and one day they will own the town. Joachim says that he makes a fine point, so instead of hanging him, the posse tar and feather the man, tying him to his family's cart and telling them to leave town, proclaiming this is the last time an Alexander will be seen in New Oberstadt. With their problems solved, Joachim tells his men that now they will build. In his office in the present, Lex is brought a mysterious box by Miss Tussmacher, who says that the demolition team at the Monarch of Metropolis site found this in the stone, and it appears to be some type of time capsule. She says it's one of those time capsules only filled with junk, as Lex picks up one of his many Lifetime Achievement Awards, using it to smash open the lock. He cuts himself on the glass statue as it smashes, but it opens the box. Inside are some old family heirlooms, including a Derringer pistol, a photo, and a monocle. Lex doesn't care about any of it, saying he hates mysteries. Back before Jimmy was about to jump out of the space shuttle, Peterson remembers how he changed the serum he was to inject Jimmy with, which allowed him to turn into a turtle before he pushed him out of the stratosphere early. Peterson knows that he must do this to his friend since a mysterious villain will kill his entire family if he doesn't. After the incident, he tells the villain he did what it was told to do and pushed Jimmy at the exact coordinates, and the villain agrees, saying his family is safe. Peterson drives home and thinks that one day Jimmy might forgive him, but his car brakes won't work, causing him to drive right off the winding cliff road and die. Elsewhere, Pauly the Porcadillo bursts into his lawyer Ed Lynch's office, confronting the attorney who failed to get him out of his jail time. Pauly uses his spikes to kill Ed, smashing himself out of the building and escape into the city. Sometime before, Jimmy teams with Dr. Mantell, going with him into ultraspace and finding a rupturing photon that is threatening to create a supermassive microcollapse. Clark and Lois meanwhile watch the experiment from the lab, with Clark saying the average citizen isn't ready for the fact that mankind might soon harness the power of a black hole. Lois says that scientists rarely think about the ramifications of their work, which leads to things like the current mayor being a dinosaur. Soon a mayday call comes through the device, and they watch as Jimmy says it's too late, since Dr. Mantell has been sucked into the rupturing photon black hole. Mantell tells Jimmy to go while there's still time, activating Jimmy's suit and causing him to resize to normal size on the table in front of Clark and Lois. As they leave the lab, Clark says that he guessed Mantell's idea about black holes really did suck, making him and Lois laugh, but shocking Jimmy, who can't believe the Doctor is gone, crushed atom by atom into an infinitesimal density. Later, Jimmy, along with the help of Metamorpho, move a dead body through his apartment block. They prop up the body and say Dr. Mantell made it before his accident. The body is a cloned copy of Jimmy, who was going to use it as an assassination decoy. As Metamorpho opens the blinds, he asks just how many people are trying to kill Jimmy. He soon gets an answer as gunfire rips into the clone body almost immediately. Rex tells Jimmy that because of this, it means he is dead. Jimmy doesn't get it since the clone is the one who was shot, but Rex explains that whomever just shot the clone thinks they killed the real Jimmy Olsen, meaning the real Jimmy Olsen needs to get out of Metropolis now. Disguising himself, Jimmy boards a late-night bus to Gotham City, but minutes before, he was watching his own burial, where he talks with a gravedigger who has been doing the job since he was a young man. Jimmy asks if he could help out, and the digger is more than happy to, so Jimmy puts a few shovels of dirt in the grave, soon throwing in his signal watch. The digger gives the disguised Jimmy some time alone, where Jimmy talks out to Superman, knowing he can hear him. He tells Superman he's putting the watch in the grave so he's not tempted to call for help when he needs it, since what comes next, no matter what Superman hears about it, he can't come, as Jimmy needs him to go along with the fact that Jimmy Olsen is now dead. Since Jimmy Olsen is dead, Jimmy puts on a fake mustache, saying he is now Timmy Olsen, who might have a mustache, but he hasn't decided yet. Timmy leaves the grave as the gravedigger angrily yells at him that he didn't even finish shoveling, and he's taking the shovel with him. Later, Lois Lane appears at Jimmy's Gotham apartment door. She bashes her way in to Jimmy's room, looking over his wall of connections to his death. Jimmy says that he solved his murder, but first he wants to make sure he's right, so he asks Lois just how hard it would be to bring down Lex Luthor. Superman's pal Jimmy Olsen issue 3 continued the hilarity with a bunch of stories involving or surrounding Jimmy Olsen and how they all relate to his apparent assassination. The stories all seem to be separate and I've kinda set out like an anthology look, but looking further into them you can see all the connections, and I really love how easy Matt Fraction makes it look in connecting these stories. Again, the humour is completely on point and it's smart and snappy and makes the book even more a thoroughly enjoyable read. I'm looking forward to seeing Jimmy try and take down Lex Luthor on his own and how he will no doubtedly stumble into the solution on it. I'm going to give this issue a 9.5 out of 10.